Man, I gotta say, let me lead off, man. I remember you're the second auditor I ever saw.
What's up, guys? Do you recognize any of these two cops? The one on the left is Detective Matt Thornton. The one on the right, his name is Eric Levine. I did a podcast episode with those two guys and another gentleman as well. They treated me with the utmost respect. I want you guys to check out this clip. I think we have something great that's brewing, and I'll explain that at the end of the video. Check this out, guys.
And then you were the second. I just became obsessed. There's probably about 2017, 18, right around in there.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
and ever since the common sense that this man has and how he does it now, it's actually really really cool, man.
Well,
I appreciate enjoy your stuff.
one of the
That's
things
awesome.
you
Thank
missed
you.
him saying earlier, Matt, was that he owned up and said when he first started out, he didn't start out the right way in the way that he probably wanted for what his true personality is. And being able to step back and recognize that and switch up your approach for what your mission is. I think that was because you do get caught up, and I've done it before too, where I'll make a video or something like that, and I'm like, oh, this will get a lot of people to watch, and I'm like, that's the wrong mindset. I need to go, what's my mission? Oh, it's education based. Okay, cool. Let me change this video back up.
Let me just explain really quick what he's talking about. I don't want anybody to have the wrong idea. When I first kind of started out my work, I did kind of walk up like this all the time. And I just really didn't like seeing myself like that on YouTube. That's really not my personality. I'm not really an asshole. I can be if people are being an asshole to me, regardless if you have a badge, uniform on or not. So I do my best to try to be respectful instead of just coming out always just kind of hammering away. I decided to start asking questions, and there's a method to my madness. It's simple. I draw them in with just talking to them and just having the good attitude, and then I start peppering them with questions, and that's how I was actually able to uncover a pattern of cops not being trained properly and knowing the First Amendment of the Constitution. I thought that was important for my work. A lot of people have a lot of different ways of doing their work. Many of them are effective in their work. I just do believe that I was effective in my work by doing that and uncovering this pattern. So keep watching.
Because you get caught up where you're trying to like, all right, let me get some more viewers on this to get more attention to what we're trying to do. Screw it. Just stick to the mission. If you stick to the mission, they'll come.
And you know what you do like that's so good, brother, is your summaries. It's so matter of fact, and so I don't know. Do you write those out ahead of time? I've been actually wanting to see how do you do that?
I do write a lot. Sometimes it just comes off the top. Like when I'm actually watching the video, I just pause it, narrate into it. I'm thinking as I watch sometimes. But if I really want to work on a video and I really want it to like pop, I'll write my stuff into it, and I'll just talk about certain things. Along the way, I think I figured out certain types of things to say that'll make people really think. And I call those like little diamonds or gems. Things that it takes a lot of pressure to actually find these. You know what I mean? And to create these. And one of the things that I say is like, what kind of American would I be if I needed permission to be free? Things like that, or for instance, freedom should be the topic on every dinner table in America every single night. Like that kind of stuff is true. Like these are things that we're not talking about at the dinner table. We're not truly understanding what our rights are. The people don't seem to know it. I didn't know what the First Amendment was. My friends and family didn't know it. I didn't learn it from my mom. I didn't learn it from school. And even if I did, it just didn't resonate because it wasn't something that I felt like I needed to implement or apply at the right time. I just thought, oh, cops are going to respect my rights. They're going to know what my rights are. They're not going to violate my rights. But there's a lot of things that we don't understand. A lot of times, whether it's under coercion or whether cops are trained to give up your certain rights or just, comply or something like that. So I think it's taken a lot of time for me to actually truly find a way to approach this. And I got to say, man, I've actually talked to, cops that are on the force. There's a woman who I actually kind of cussed out when I first started, and she ended up working with me later on. She wrote a book about her department and how crooked it was after she left.
Oh, wow.
So I've worked with a lot of current law enforcement officers or police officers that are retired. There was this one retired officer who wrote a book, and I helped him promote it and stuff. And he actually wrote the first book on First Amendment auditors. And yeah, man, it's been a journey. It's been an educational journey for myself. We did a record-breaking audit at the LAPD training facility at Elysian Park behind Dodger Stadium. And I know I seen East Los Audits. He was on here. He's the one that made that comment earlier. But he was there with me. Rest in peace, Jay from J Serial Camera was there with me. My son, a couple of my sons were out there with me. I have 3 sons that actually have channels as well that go out and record sometimes with me and stuff as well. So
Nice.
we did a record-breaking audit. This was a long time ago, and probably the most cops ever called. You know, they lined up like if we were, you know, protesting or rioting or something, and it was the chopper came out, and it was crazy, man. And but a supervisor came out and he was like, "No, man, you guys are okay. You guys are good. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna talk to all of them, and I'm just gonna have them leave." And you know, he did invite me to go speak at the LAPD training facility, maybe teach a class or something, but I don't think I was ready then. I've progressed along the way throughout the years, and since then I've spoken at a university. I've also been invited to like David Nino Rodriguez's podcast, and his whole podcast, his whole support base is Back to Blue, and I was like, damn, like I'm gonna get killed over there. You know, the first thing he opened up with, you know, we back to Blue, I back to Blue, but I respect your work, and we ended up having an amazing, positive podcast. A lot of people in the chat were saying, bring this guy back on. He knows exactly what he's talking about. This is what this country needs right here. And there's a lot of folks in your chat right now. I'll give some folks a quick shout out if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Joe Cool, Power Inheritor the People, Girl with the Camera, East Los Artists, The Angry Vet, Made in America, The Ripple Effect, Every Camera Counts. We got a call as a personal friend of mine. Wrights Crispy, personal friend of mine. He's taking me to Florida and Pennsylvania. I've traveled with them to Colorado and stuff like that. And also the Pop Brothers at Law. They want to say thank you, Matt, for all your work. They love.
I love them dudes too. Yep.
They're tuned in right now. They're waiting for you to do a STFU thing with them. So,
they asked you to do that.
Yeah, so they're I have a really strong support base as well, and like I say, I think by you guys kind of building a community as well of actual current law enforcement officers or people that are in law enforcement or have been in law enforcement, that's amazing, because a lot of us do this for the right reasons. We have good intentions. We need to learn our rights. That's obviously, I think, something that we can all agree on. Everybody needs to know what their rights are.
Yeah.
Right?
Whenever we have haters that talk bad about us, you always hear them talk about the bad things that we do or the bad things that we say. They never elaborate on what we do that's right or important, right? That's the most important thing, folks, the educational value of all of this. Why don't they point out the good stuff that we do and the good stuff that we say? That way everybody can learn from it. Even our haters, they need to know what their rights are, right? Look at these cops right here. They're pretty much agreeing with the community. They're able to see past our mistakes and see how important freedom is to this country. I mean, you got the fraud or troll channels out there. I mean, the guy's not even from America. He's from Canada, folks. Think about that. He doesn't give a shit about freedom or what we're talking about. He just wants to make that quick buck. And I've been told from the very beginning to not highlight the videos where cops respect our rights and stuff. But to me, it was always important because we need to set an example for other cops of how to respect the Constitution. If not respect us personally, at least respect the Constitution and what our rights are. Sure, we have a lot of people that do a lot of stupid shit and say a lot of stupid shit. But for the most part, the important stuff is in there. And I just don't understand, or I can't fathom why they don't point out these important factors. You know, they always just criticize us or criticize people and ridicule them. Look, if you're going to bake cupcakes on YouTube, expect the cupcake gang to come after you, right? Because that's what they are. They're trolls. They're not going to say, oh, this guy, he has a good way of mixing batter or whatever, right? The frosting looks good. They're not going to say the good stuff. They're only going to point out the bad. So just keep that in mind. And I always knew from the beginning that our videos had to be educational, and it was never really about the views for me. It was always about empowering you guys to get out there and record and know what your rights are so that you can make a difference in your communities. So
I think you hit the nail on the head on family and teaching and talking about that every day. But here's where so for all my cops listening, this is one thing that I do. I was never taught this, but if I have an opportunity to explain to somebody their rights while I'm out there, I do it. Like somebody that I literally caught somebody that's looking at an auditor down the street, because in my area where I'm at, you won't hear me say where I work on here. I can't do that. But where I work, auditors are pretty heavy, and somebody was pointing out an auditor, and I took that opportunity because they were pissed off about it, and I'm like, that's a beautiful thing. Imagine being a part of a government or this country that's so free that we can hold our government accountable in such an amazing way without fear of retribution, or retaliation. And I was like, that is a First Amendment right. They're allowed to do that. And they're like, they're allowed to do that. They can film right inside that business. I'm like, they're on a sidewalk. It's a public area. Anywhere from the public, your eyes can see, that camera can see, you can do that. I didn't treat them like an asshole. I'm like, are you moron? You don't know your rights? Or, you know what? You're right. Yeah, that's bullshit. They shouldn't be doing that. I took it as an opportunity to educate. So just as you're saying that we should be talking about freedom all the time, I'm with you, brother. And something that we can do as police, because this is what the whole point of my show is, or our show, my bad, Matt and Banning, the whole point of our show is spreading that message and teaching people. It isn't to make you look bad. It's to educate. Now, sometimes you will look bad because of what you chose to do, but in your bad moment, you are going to teach a lot more cops, a lot more citizens about what their rights are or how to handle something better. So that's kind of the premise behind it. So I really like that you had that, that thought, that philosophy. But something we got some questions that we've all I know Matt's probably got some questions for you too. Banning, my first question that I really want to know from you, brother, is you've been doing this since when? Since 2018, was that?
2017.
2017. Okay, so from
September.
2017 to now, have you seen a change in policing and how they handle auditors? Has it gotten better? Has it gotten worse? Has there been no effect?
That's a great question.
I do answer that question on his live stream. I definitely would like you guys to go check out the entire live stream. It was really good, but I can answer that here as well. Have I seen cops have not changed. They are still violating our rights, arresting us, and now they're actually looking for ways to actually try to get us convicted on just some bogus stuff. A lot of channels out there, 68 Shots just got convicted on stuff that he didn't even do. They're messing with Press NH now. A lot of our channels, a lot of us that do our channels are getting harassed and charged by these cops. And that's why I think it's extremely important for us to really protect ourselves. And sometimes family or ex-family or ex-girlfriends could try to turn you in and get you in trouble and stuff. And I think that's extremely dangerous. Just be careful out there, guys, because cops will try to find ways to screw you over. But on the most part, I have learned a lot of stuff along the way. I didn't really want to do work too close to home because I didn't want to shit where I eat, right? That's kind of, cops do sometimes try to target us or whatnot. I think it's important that you build a strong support base in your community. And I do find that Instagram will connect you with your local people. So if you don't have an Instagram account, think about creating one and start connecting with the locals. I ended up connecting with a lot of the locals here in Arvin, California, close by, and I did work with a lot of the community leaders, community members, ex-public employees, and just different stuff like that. And we did a lot of work together, and we did create some change locally. Maybe it starts on the local scale. Maybe we kind of started on the grand scale, right, where we all started connecting from sea to shining sea and everywhere in between, where we were just kind of helping each other grow and learning from each other and stuff like that. But have we see a difference in policing? I don't think so. Look at what just happened to me on my recent arrest and release. I was arrested simply for asking for a name and badge number and trying to put a complaint on a school cop who was speeding down the road, driving like a Dom Toretto in Fast and Furious, right? Bad Cops edition. Yeah, all jokes aside, it's important that we continue this work, and it's important that we continue to support each other. Some of you guys might say, why is this guy shouting out these cops channels? Look, they're building a community of cops, retired cops, and cops that are still in the force that actually support the Constitution. Like I said earlier, if not supporting us on a personal level, supporting freedom. You can't argue with that. And I don't just, so you guys know, I don't just support cops channels. I've done my best to try to help build this community. Many guys who probably didn't deserve my support, but I gave it to them anyways, because to me, who knows who's going to backstab you or not. And I never let that stop me from supporting the next person. So I try to show support to everyone. A lot of people do get snake bit and turn their backs on the people, not just myself. I don't take it personal, but I am a fighter. I do like to fight. So you want to talk some shit? Let's talk some shit, bitch. Bam, bam, motherfucker. Anyways, let's continue to build this community. Let's continue to educate cops, because in one of my recent videos, and it's a banger video. It didn't go viral. I don't know why. It's just a banger video though. And the cop says they always propagate like, well, if you want to change something, why don't you become a cop and change it from the inside out? Like, why would I want the academy, the police academy, to fail me like they failed you? You know, you should be happy that I'm here teaching you these things. The academy, the department, the city, they should all be happy and appreciative that I'm out here doing this to educate you guys where they failed you. Okay. You see the difference between somebody who knows this? I know your job better than you do.
Then you should apply. You should help out.
I'm happy in the private sector, bro.
I mean, you can do both.
Why would I want the academy to fail me like they failed you?
You can teach the academy.
Huh?
Teach the academy.
I know LAPD already asked me to come train to teach a class over there.
Try to like get in with us and try to teach a class.
I've made more of an impact here.
Oh.
More cops know it now because of I taught them through my channels, bro. All right. I'm trying not to just to do that here, but I'm trying to do this nationwide. I've amassed a good following, bro, because of this. I believe I'm making a bigger impact in the private sector. I've had cops now that know the First Amendment, and they learned it from me. Admittedly, learned it from me, not their academies. Think about that. The government's not paying me for that. So if you guys want to shoot some donations my way, shit, I ain't going to say don't do it. I could use all the help as well, guys. But anyways, the government don't pay me to educate cops and to help build a community. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I will drop the link to this podcast episode. I think it's a really good one. Yeah, thank you guys. Much love and support. Peace.